Hey everybody, it's Daniel here with Android Central, and we are taking a look at the new Moto Z Droid from Verizon, also known as the Moto Z around the world, coming to Verizon this summer and to the rest of the world later this year. You can see on the front, this looks very similar to other Moto devices, but it is extremely thin at 5.4 millimeters. It has a fingerprint sensor, which is a first for a Moto Z device, a Moto X device rather. We saw it for the first time on a Moto G earlier this year. You can see it has two infrared sensors down below. That is to turn on Moto display, which is a well-known feature to many people, fans of the Motorola lineup. On the right side, we have a power button and finger and volume buttons. On the left, there is nothing. This is a very sparsely populated phone. On the top, where a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack would normally be, we see nothing, and that's because it's actually too thin for a headphone jack. This will be relying completely on either accessories or Bluetooth headphones to accompany listening to music, which is very interesting and a first for, I think, any phone on the market. On the bottom, a USB Type-C port. And on the back, this is a very kind of fingerprint heavy demo, so it probably won't look like this. But this is a 13 megapixel sensor with an optical image stabilization, and a laser-assisted autofocus and a dual LED flash. And there are 16 pogo pins that accommodate Moto mods. Now, that is the newest announcement from Lenovo here, and what you can see here is that it just snaps magnetically to the device. So these are going to be sold separately. You can buy them from Motorola directly, and they just magnetically attach to make your device look better, and they look really nice. This is a light wood variety, but there are also a number of accessories. So right here we have the Pico projector. You can see here, once it's connected, the phone will automatically detect that a Moto mod is installed. It'll detect the battery level, and it'll allow you to project, which is really, really neat. It has its own separate app for that, and you can do a whole lot with it. So that is really interesting. And to remove it, you just take it off. It's a really strong magnet, but it doesn't prevent you from removing it at all. And you get a nice haptic feedback when you remove it. And over here we have a JBL speaker that adds 10 hours of listening time and a kickstand. So that's really, really neat, and something that we like to see more of with a MotoMod developer kit, and that'll allow third-party developers to create really cool experiences for the Moto Z. And what they're saying is that future Moto Z varieties will actually look and feel very similar to this. So you don't really need to worry that that this year's Moto Z is going to be obsolete, and that all your Moto mods are going to have to be repurchased next year, which is great. So you can see here, this is very much a standard Motorola skin. You have Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow with a May 1st security patch, and obviously that'll be updated to N when it's ready. So as in previous versions, we have Moto Actions, Moto Display, and Moto Voice. There are a couple new actions here which are really neat, in addition to things like chopping twice to turn on the flashlight. There's a new feature called Swipe Up to Shrink Screen. Now, what that allows you to do is swipe up to get into one-handed mode, and then you can just tap anywhere in the black area to disable it, which is nice. And also we have the quick capture, which gets you right into this brand new camera app that we saw debut on the Moto G line. Now, this is a 13 megapixel rear sensor. Moto Z Force has a 21 megapixel sensor, along with a shatterproof screen. But by and large, they're very similar experiences. You can quickly get into the camera and take a photo, which is really neat. And this camera app is significantly more feature-filled than previous Motorola versions. Now, we will bring you lots more on the Moto Z throughout the summer, and as it approaches its release on Verizon later in the summer, and globally sold via Motorola.com unlocked in